What is it about Karen that you love?
Ooh, um,
How much time you got?
so I've referenced Proverbs 31, uh, which she truly is all of that. I love her spirit. She is the nicest, sweetest person that you will meet. Goes out of her way for everybody. Um, people will try to say the right thing. I love how she looks. Um, she has kept her body in shape, and her temple is important to her. And so that's one thing that we have in common. We love working out together, running together. Um, the competition bug, when I did some competition bodybuilding, that rubbed off on her, and she bucket list did it and won 3 weekends in a row, which is that's unheard of. I got third. That's the best I ever got after like she wins three
You're
weekends
my
in a row.
inspiration.
Yeah. Great. I mean, just a great person. Like you just don't meet great people, and it's not contrived. It's not put on. That's just who she is. And she's got my back. I always call her my road pup. She calls me my
Road
road dog.
dog.
But her spirit and the fact that she's a Christian woman and loves the Lord and has said that her home is going to be a home of ministry. And there's a story about this house as well, how we ended up here. But yeah, just never says a cross word about anybody. Never curses. I guess I have to say the words that she won't say. Just a wonderful person, just a beautiful person. God sent me the right. He sent me the right person, and I can't imagine what my life will be without her. I really can't. And that's not. I'm not trying to get points. I really can't. I don't. I'd be kind of like the ship without a sail. That's how I feel if she hadn't come into my life when she did, and it has been amazing. And we are married. We have arguments. We love one another. We laugh. We everything. But I know she's got me. At the end of the day, she's got me, and I don't say that lightly. I don't take that lightly. I'm trying to be hard, but yeah, she's amazing. She's
So are
amazing.
you. I say he's Hugh-mazing. He's Hugh-mazing. So are you.
So that was my question for you is what do you love about you?
Oh, everything.
How much time we got?
So what I love, we met again as friends first. And I really cherish and value first and foremost, our friendship. And because that's the foundation of our relationship and that it's rooted in Christ. This is a God-fearing man. And this is truly my best friend. I love his sense of humor. I love the fact that we have so much in common. His character, the way we work out together. As he talked about, we're both into living a healthy and fit lifestyle. But his sense of humor, his loyalty, the way he loves on me and our family and is fiercely protective of us all. I call him my Superman. I don't ever have to worry about being afraid of anything or anyone because I know he's got me. Like he's my protector. Even when I'm from New York originally, and I don't know the first thing about hurricane preparedness. So when we first got married, in comes Harvey, and I was ready to be out. Like the first hurricane that came when I first moved to Texas was Ike. I was out. I went to San Antonio because I don't know I could prepare for a blizzard, could prepare for a storm, a winter storm, snowstorm, but not a hurricane. And so I remember when Harvey was coming in, I was like, okay, ready to go. He was like, no, we're hunkering down. I'm like, what does that mean? But he had it. I trusted him. I didn't, and that's how I feel about everything. Like he protects me and I feel so safe and secure. And I love how he makes me feel. And I feel truly loved by him. His love is unconditional. And yeah, just all that.
Oh, it's conditional. I got you.
What would be your advice? So you're coming up on the 7-year mark. What would be your advice to couples, one, that are doing it the second time, and then two, just making it work?
Oh, gotta have him first and foremost. You cannot have a strong marriage and my personal opinion, without having God as your foundation. You both have to be equally yoked. You both have to believe in the same God and pray together,
Sure.
which is very important in my opinion. There's so much going on around, that gives the enemy an opportunity to drive a wedge in between couples and attack marriages, because we know the divorce rate is upwards of 50, 60%. So what makes you survive, your marriage survive, I think, is being rooted and grounded in the word, in the Lord, being able to pray together, keeping God first and keeping your family first.
So I will use this analogy, and we both work out. She right now much more than me, certainly more consistently than I. But when you think about marriage in terms of your body, you can't build muscle in your body without working out and without putting the right things in your body. It's not going to happen. And you have to be consistent with it. If you do not work out, your muscles will atrophy, right? You get weak. I think about marriage the same way. If you're not putting that work in, that marriage is going to get weak. And so we really work at it. Like, we have daily devotion in the morning. We go to Wheeler's first Tuesdays,
Marriage
ministry. We actually do check-ins with a marriage counselor.
At least every 6 months.
Every 6 months.
At least,
things can be
just because,
right? Just because. And we make it a point, like we said, where we're going tonight for date night. Those are the kinds of things that have to happen, but it's about working that marriage muscle in my mind to keep it strong.
Yeah.
And if you neglect any part of it, it's as she said, the devil's going to have an opportunity to try. Oh, I think they might be weak over here. They might be weak over there. So we really work at it.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work, a lot of communication. The one unfortunate thing I think about when young people, or even people that are, later on in life and on in years, they get wrapped up around the wedding and the planning of the wedding and the trappings associated with the wedding. And you put all that work into it, and all the work that you put into the wedding, you don't put into the marriage. Like, why would you do all this planning and all? But then you get married. It's like, all right, we're done. No, you're now is when you start. So I think about it in terms of a muscle in the body. It's just you gotta work. You gotta push. It's gonna be painful sometimes, but the final product is just it's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
It's an amazing thing.
And you talked about being able to put all that time and effort and money into the wedding, but wanting to invest that same time and energy into the marriage. That goes back to what I mentioned about the friendship. It's really important, because when that day is past and the honeymoon is over, what are you going to rely on? Or if you have kids and the kids, were all out the house, what are you going to rely on? You're so used to being parents and focusing on the kids and not putting your relationship or your marriage first. So that's why it's important to have that friendship. We attended a marriage ministry that talked about 4 things to divorce-proof your marriage. The first was being able to pray together, keep God first and pray together, and do the devotions that we do daily in the morning. 20 minutes. You think, communication is very important. They say just take 20 minutes to talk to your spouse. And you think about it, it's like, oh, that's not a lot of time. But you can think about from the time you wake up in the morning, especially if you have kids, how quickly you just jump into your routine and take care of kids or take care of your work responsibilities. And then the whole day could go by and you didn't spend 20 minutes talking to your spouse. So you have to be very intentional where there's no distractions. Take off the TV, shut the door so the kids don't come, bother you, and have 20 minutes where you're just literally connecting with each other. And then the weekly date nights are important as well. Just being able to have that consistent time together where you're enriching your marriage. So, yeah.
Yeah, we were at the marriage ministry on Tuesday. And one of the things that was mentioned by my wife was it's going to be a problem. If you and your spouse show up somewhere and someone goes, oh, I didn't know you were married. That's a bad look.
Because you're never with your spouse.
You're never with your spouse. So we roll together. People see us together. We roll together. We hold hands. Public displays of affection are not a problem for us. It's you'll never hear that about us. You'll hear the opposite, right? Man, y'all just they had to go to the gym, just lovey dovey.
Or if you see me by myself, they're like, "Well, where's Hugh?"
Yeah, you know.
Or he'll say, "Well, where's Karen?" Because we're always together,
right?
So.
And if it's like, I don't know where she is. I don't even really care. Like that, those kinds of things. I just remember my parents were married for, forever. They were together since college at Prairie View, and my mom passed away 10 days before Christmas in 2021. And I've seen my father just kind of get weaker, and just his soulmate's gone. So I get it, when that person that you've been with all that time. But she used to always tell me, my husband, that's my rock, that's my best friend, and they would be together everywhere. And one of the things I thought you were going to say about me that I get from my father is a gentleman.
Yes,
opens
chivalry
doors,
is not dead.
Opens car
Yes.
doors, and Shirley Tillman,
Yes.
God rest her soul, she'll go up to a door and she'll just stand there
Yes.
because she knows my dad's gonna open the door.
So true. That's actually
And
one of the
that's,
things that made me fall in love with. I was extremely impressed on our first date at the opening of the doors and the pulling out of the chairs, or I'm going to the ladies' room, and he stands up
from the table.
It's just like, oh,
my dad
okay.
told me all that, and then she was like, "Whoa, what?
Yes.
Why are you standing up?"
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
It's
See,
funny.
I said there was so many things I couldn't.
So it's funny when we're at an event, maybe a formal or something, and it doesn't have to be her. It could be any of the ladies getting up at the table,
And
I'll just kind of, I won't stand all the way, but I'll acknowledge, and then you see the other dudes kind of look, and then maybe another woman, the woman will be like, "Why don't you do that?" And I'm not trying to start anything. It's just that's how my father reared me, and now she does the Shirley Tillman. She'll just
I'll stand by the door. I'm like, he'll open
or she'll
it.
sit in the car because she knows I'm
like,
coming around.
Yep.
But that's it's
Yes.
just little things like
Love that about him.
Yeah. I guess they don't do that in New York. They do that in Texas. Texas boys do that.
Okay.